Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to have some Division 19 online ranked gameplay from last season, and we're going to be using none other than the flyweight queen, Valentina Shenchenko. And before we get into the fight here, you can see I'm coming up against an opponent that has a lot of points for at that time in the division. I'm not 100% sure if he was in the top 100, but definitely there or thereabouts, and he's going to be using Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But before we get into the actual fight here, just want to say a huge thank you to all the support as of recently on my content, whether it's liking the videos, commenting or subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I am going to be going on holiday soon for about 16-17 days. I leave some point next week, and I'm going to have to pre-record a lot of videos, so any suggestions you do leave now will be taken in consideration to upload whilst I'm away. But yeah, any of the content you're going to be seeing, probably the next 3 or 4 videos will all be pre-recorded, so bear that in mind if you are commenting suggestions. Obviously I will still be able to reply to comments while I'm out there, but I won't have access to my PlayStation or anything that I use to record my videos, so I won't be able to film videos like I normally would, which is roughly twice a week. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making a Leon Edwards video to talk about, obviously, that fantastic finish against Kamaru Usman. I cannot wait to talk about that. I'm going to be making the 4 Kings of AKA video, which is using Kane, Rockhold, DC and Habib, and I'm probably going to be making a video on how to get takedowns. So I'm going to be looking to upload maybe once a week while I'm away, hopefully still twice a week, but I don't want to make that guarantee as of yet because I don't know what it's going to look like and how many videos I can get pre-recorded before I leave. So just definitely bear that in mind in terms of when it comes to content across the channel for the next probably 3 weeks. But yeah, thank you anyway for all the support. And now getting back into the fight, you can see that using Shenchenko, you're obviously going to mix up everything. You're going to look to be the perfect MMA fighter. You can stand, you can go to the ground, you can do whatever you want with Valentina. And obviously Joanna off her back isn't the greatest. Valentina's definitely going to have the advantage when it comes to being on the ground, and I wouldn't even mind the position getting reversed and being off my back, so I feel very confident with Shenchenko off her back. Obviously we did see in her last fight she did face some adversity, and I'm going to be real honest with you, people might not want to hear this, but the headbutt really did change the fight, and I'm a big Valentina fan, but if it wasn't for that headbutt, I really don't know what would the outcome of that fight would have been. I definitely don't think she would have been finished, but I think she probably would have lost on the decision. Yeah, that headbutt really did change the fight, and you know, she was just doing stuff out of muscle memory, which was not resulting in the way she wanted. Like, she kept going for the throws and stuff, and then that was getting reversed, and I felt like it was just something in her that kept on willing to like shoot these takedowns and shoot these throws, even though they weren't being as effective as they normally were. But that's what happens when you're so dominant and then you fight someone that's actually giving you a good fight, and the thing you're used to dominating with, the tools and the arsenal you're used to dominating with, ends up not working. You can see that muscle memory sort of takes over and you keep making those same little mistakes. But obviously she adjusted well in the 4th and 5th, but I definitely think the headbutt changed the fight. So as we're coming into round 2 here, definitely round 1 was my round. Got to be very careful because I know this Joanna fight is going to be very tricky. I mean, a lot of points, so whenever someone has a lot of points, they're either going to be a very good fighter or very cheesy. And all credit to my opponent here, very good fighter, nothing too cheesy. I know Joanna, you can spam the knees and elbows, and there's a new strategy now where people like to spam the teep kicks, but if you can really sidestep out that way, it really nullifies that strategy. Perfect timing there for the head kick, and you can see that it's the patience really that sometimes wins me the fights against these higher level fighters, because there's a lot of times I beat guys well into the top 100 and I'm definitely not on their level, but it's just executing a game plan, staying patient and picking my shots. Even there, when I get the stun, you can see I instantly work that lead leg, and I'm just taking away that attack straight away because Joanna has very good leg kicks, and as long as I can take out that lead leg and check the kicks enough, it's going to damage the leg to the point where not only will I be able to get easy stuns and knockdowns, but it's going to deter Joanna from throwing any leg kicks to prevent more damage. And in boxing range, of course, I've got to watch out for the elbows. Joanna's got filthy elbows, and of course she's got fantastic knees, and you can see there little utilization of head movement to avoid the front kick, and I'm definitely expecting the teep kicks. But you can see that Joanna's keeping the pressure very, very high, looking to rinse the block, and I'm just trying to stay patient. You can see I move my head often, like every once in a while. Say there's a 3-punch combination, I'll try to slip one of them just to minimize the damage that's on my block. You'll fight a lot of guys that don't utilize their head movement efficiently, and therefore their block gets melted. It goes into third or fourth, and then it's just going to be an easy finish because you can just absolutely swim through that block. So head movement, if it's something you're not comfortable with or confident with, I definitely recommend getting accustomed to. Even if you're only slipping one of the 3 punches, if you think about that, it's going to do your block a justice in the long run. It's definitely going to save you some block, and it's very important in these 5-round fights against these high level fighters. And you can see the pressure right now. Yeah, this is normally something that I do get overwhelmed with, but I'm being very patient, and the work that gets done in this round is going to really set up the next 3 rounds if it goes to the decision. But you can see they're being very, very patient. Normally that's something that I do struggle with, is pressure heavy fighters. I definitely look for the takedowns more so, just to get the fight onto the ground and really slow down the pace of the fight. You can see that the roundhouses to the body are definitely starting to land, and I'm expecting Joanna to go up top soon. As you can see, I'll land a roundhouse on my own there, but I was expecting Joanna to go up higher, which is why you can see that I'm not really blocking it. And that's the only real criticism I can say for myself so far, is that I am allowing myself to get pressured. However, the damage being done isn't overwhelming, and when we get into those small altercations where we're both throwing at the same time, definitely getting the better of those altercations, and you can see that the damage is definitely being done. I mean, the leg health's not looking good for Joanna, chin health's definitely not looking good, and now it's time to start teeing off on the body as well. So into the third here, and I can still look to get in the takedowns, I can still look to threaten the submissions if need be, but right now flowing on the feet, feeling fairly comfortable, just trying to find my range. You see, that's one thing about finding your range is very important there. Joanna slightly out of range and instantly gets stunned for it. See, beautiful knee lands there, good utilization of head movement. Again, the roundhouses to the body are landing. You can see that I switch stance here. Good jab to the body, and I'm trying to be unpredictable. I'm throwing these knees as they're stepping in, and that's one thing that I saw. I know this is a bit off topic. Is Usman throwing beautifully? Is when what Leon throwing beautifully is when Usman stepped in, he throw that knee straight down the middle, and I don't think that was picked up on quite a lot, but I think that's something that I utilize a lot throughout the game, and I use it in a lot of my fights. Is that knee? I know sometimes people mean to go for teeps and throw the knee, but the knee straight down the middle does a lot of damage, especially when someone is stepping straight into it. And you can see here that, like I was saying about the head movement, moving your head once in a while saves your block a lot. I mean, right now my block's not in the best position for the third round, especially where Joanna's been very pressure heavy, but because of the damage done to Joanna so far on both chin and leg health, you can see Joanna's very tentative, and that was a very, very good head kick there, because I was throwing that leg kick, left myself vulnerable, but because my head health's in a decent position, stamina's in a decent position, it allowed me to recover fairly quickly without the threat of a potential knockdown. Now it's just about clearing the cobwebs, going back to the drawing board, and here the game plan's very, very simple. It was to survive the initial first 2 rounds of that constant pressure that I was expecting from Joanna, and while surviving that pressure, it was definitely to take out the legs and wear down the head health, because the body health was too dangerous, because I know that the knees can come in, and you know, if she throws a front kick well timed, it's going to do a lot of damage. And the takedowns, if the chance was to present it either by catching a roundhouse or catching a teep kick, then definitely look to get the takedowns, but I didn't really want to shoot too many unless I felt it was entirely necessary. And you can see that here, because right now I'm not really shooting any takedowns. I'm not going for any takedowns, just because I don't want to shoot for a takedown, waste stamina, and then Joanna lands good knees from the clinch and starts to wear away at the body, because right now that's where Joanna's doing her best work, is really isolating this body. And you can see that there Joanna's adjusted to throwing hooks to the body as well as roundhouses, and that's going to start taxing away, and that's very smart. It's a very good game plan from my opponent. Joanna can clearly see that right now I'm not blocking low, and that's because of the threat of the head kick, which has already landed once this round, although that was due to a mistake when throwing a leg kick, but nevertheless the threat is still there. And right now people would start to panic if they was in my position, potentially due to the body health, especially with 2 rounds being left. However, I know that any point in this fight I can really look to get the takedown, and I also know that Joanna's head health is not in a good position at all. So in terms of being worried, I'm not too worried. And as the fight progresses, you'll see into the 4th and 5th, you see a good little check there, again gets that leg health event, and it's these small things that can win you rounds and then eventually win you the fight. But you'll see, I think it's in this round here that I noticed that the front kick is definitely available up the middle, and it's something that I didn't want to throw straight away too many times, just because if my opponent gets a read on it, can sidestep hit me, and it's going to do a lot of damage, and it could potentially, you know, knock me out. I don't know if anyone watched the Cheeto video where I had a mirror match, and you know, that Cheeto was dominating me through the front kick, got slipped, and then ended up getting knocked out as a result of it. So had some PTSD from that and didn't want to risk it. So get the knockdown here. I think I tried to go to ground. I don't know if it ends up working though. Good job from Joanna to get straight back to the feet, but that knockdown secured this round unless I get knocked down, and I know that chin health is in a very bad position. You can see Joanna's 3rd round was less pressure heavy and had slightly more success, and you can see that I'm throwing this front kick now to the middle because I can see that's where there's an opening's going to be there. Eventually I'm really looking to set it up, get another stun here with an uppercut, and then go to the body, and that was just beautiful. I mean, whenever you're fighting someone that bobbleheads straight after getting stunned, it's imperative that you laser that body because they're already moving, their stamina's low. If you land a good body kick, it's going to do a lot of damage, and you can see that I'm utilising the jab to the body there, which is something that, you know, I mimicked off Jose Aldo. That's something he does very well. And as I was saying, first 2 rounds was a lot of pressure for Joanna. Didn't end up getting the results that she wanted. 3rd round was slightly more patient, still the aggressor of the fight, I definitely say, but slightly more patient, slightly more tentative. Obviously knew that the chin health was low, leg health was low, and stamina's probably not looking in the best position either. And then come out all guns blazing in the 4th round because she knows that she is potentially down 4 rounds and will need a finish. So it's going to make that 5th round a bit more interesting if it does get there. Joanna going back to these leg kicks, trying to mix up the strikes. Pinned me against the cage here. You can see cutting off the octagon very well, controlling that center of the octagon. But as soon as I push forwards with like a little double jab, Joanna instantly retreats just because, you know, the head health just isn't there, and she cannot afford to be taking any sort of punishment to the head, even if it is just a little double jab. You can see that Joanna retreats quite clearly, and you can see after the first 2 punches that Joanna's block clearly melts. Good work to the body there from myself. That's the first time I really ripped to the body with any sort of hooks. Joanna really trying to be the aggressor here, and this is exactly what Joanna has to do in order to claw something back from this fight. So this is how I know my opponent was very good, is because was making the necessary reads and adjustments in order to definitely try to keep himself or herself in the fight. You can see that definitely still being aggressive, definitely looking for the finish. The fight's definitely far from over. It's just that the game plan's going very well as of now, and I haven't had to resort to getting any takedowns. And now in this 5th round here, what I could look to do just for risk management is just get the takedown and look to ride out the rest of the fight. However, I'm still going to be looking for the finish. You can see this is a lot more aggressive this round. You can see started off with very big shots, definitely being a lot more aggressive than I have been in some of the rounds prior. And it's just a good game planning. That's what it comes down to. I don't need to be aggressive throughout the whole fight. You've got to pick your moments, and that's exactly what I've looked to do. So you can see when I caught the roundhouse there, instantly looked to go to the cage to get a nice little takedown, and good job from Joanna to land the knee. Throws the front kick there to see if she can have any success. Laser the leg. Right now I'm just feeling free to do whatever I want really. I can go to the leg and get a little stun, I can go to the head and get a stun, I can even go to the body and get a stun, and Joanna's stamina is definitely looking worse for wear. I would advise, you know, being in this position, if you're not feeling too comfortable, to definitely get a takedown and just look to see out the fight, see if you can maybe get a submission finish. But right here I was pretty keen on finishing the fight. As you can see, a beautiful spinning kick to the body there, and that's the first time I utilised it in this 5-round fight, because I don't like utilising that kick too often, because it becomes a bit predictable. And Joanna here goes for the takedown because she has no stamina. I don't know if it was a jab to the body, but I don't reckon so. I just think Joanna's out of stamina and is desperate to get the fight onto the ground just to survive this 5th round. And obviously that's not what I'm looking to do, but you can see Joanna gets up because it's going to be more dangerous for her on the ground with relatively low stamina, because eventually I'll just, you know, sweep and then get a submission. I think that my opponent recognised this threat and thought, let's get onto the feet where I have more of a puncher's chance, you know, can land something beautiful and maybe get the knockout that I need, because right now it's probably 3 rounds to 1 or just 4 straight rounds for myself. It depends how the judges score the fight. You can see here, I go to get the suplex takedown, but I don't have the stamina, so I land the knee off the clinch. Joanna pressures straight away, definitely looking for the finish, and you've got to respect my opponent here because still trying his best, laser in the body, which my body's probably the weakest part, because Joanna's done a great job of isolating that body. And again, I've been looking to set up this up kick, and I'm just waiting, and you can see there comes a million elbows. Just as I was saying that, you know, Joanna hasn't done anything cheesy, I've resorted to anything possible there to try and get a knockdown or a potential finish by throwing about 4 straight elbows in a row. And that did make me laugh at the time. I was like, you know, that's just a classic Division 20 thing to do when you're having a good fight and you're about to lose. You just spam it, get the knockdown here. You can see I go for the roundhouse, the body doesn't land, and then one, bang, buzzer beater KO, beautiful finish from Valentina Shenchenko. And that, I think that kick was there for me. You can see I was throwing it in the fourth. The front kick was definitely available. It was just a matter of time. It was about wearing down the block of Joanna till it was virtually non-existent. You can see double jab, which I've been throwing quite a lot throughout the fight. And he was probably expecting a hook or a roundhouse to the body, and in the event that he did duck expecting a head kick, I threw the front kicks to catch him beautifully up the middle. So there's the stats for the fight. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you're new around here, subscribe for more UFC 4 content. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment any future video suggestions, and I'll see you next time. Peace.